Hi there, this is Mar Haddad here again. In this lecture, I have to explain to you about the IPv6 address assignment. We will see that at this moment, there are a lot of ISPs requesting for IPv6 to be able to assign them to their end customers. So I'm going to show you how the IPv6 has been now assigned. So how it goes from the IANA down to the end user, and how it will pass through different organizations. So let's directly start with the lecture. We have an organization called IANA, and IANA is an organization which has the whole IPv6 spaces. So that's an organization, that's a global organization which holds the whole IPv6. Okay, now what IANA has done, it has taken only /3 from the other spaces from the IPv6, only /3, and then it will distribute them to what we call them the RIR. RIR means Regional Internet Registry. So Regional Internet Registry, you have to think of them, and I'm going to speak about it in a moment. Like every continent has an RIR, and we are going to see each of the continent, what is the name of the RIR. And it will provide the addressing to the RIR. Now, the RIR provide the addressing, of course. You see that here it is /18, then it will provide them /23. So you see that it will distribute them in a smaller chunk. Then the LIR means here the Local Internet Registry. The Local Internet Registry, you have to think of them like the biggest ISP in a country. So this RIR, we have to think it's continent, and the LIR is country. Okay, so the biggest ISPs in the countries will get the IPv6 assignment. Then the LIR will distribute them to the local ISPs. Those are ISPs, but they are smaller in size. So the LIR will provide them the IP address, and then the ISPs can distribute the IPv6 to the end user. So this is normally how it goes from the IANA down to the end user. Now we have some exception to the rule here. We can see here that this end user can go directly to the RIR, which is in the continent. So the organization which is responsible to assign the addresses, and it is on the continent level. So how this can happen? Well, there are some end users which we call them a provider independent assignment. And those end users, you have to think something like the UN offices, maybe the international NGOs, maybe highly educated institute. So all those type of customers, they can go directly to the RIR and get their addresses from them, the IPv6 assignment. So that's an exception to the rule that you may see it. Okay, now we know the name of the organizations. Let's now check what addresses we have available at this moment from IPv6. Now, before I start speaking about the addresses that are available on IPv6, these are the RIR, and these are the same as I have showed you here. So the RIR, which is on this level, the continent level. So we have the AREN, that's for America. You have LACNIC, that's for Latin America. You have RIPE and SCC, which is from Europe and for the Middle East. And you have AFRINIC, that's for Africa, and APNIC, that's for the Pacific. So those are the RIR, the Regional Internet Registry. And those will receive IPs from the IANA, and then they can distribute those IPs to LIR, and then the LIR can distribute them to ISPs, and ISPs can distribute them to end customers. So depending on where you are, then you know that which of IRR is in your place. So if you are somewhere in Europe, so you know that it is RIPE NCC. If you are somewhere, for example, in America here, then it is AREN. Okay, so those are the RIR that you should know about them. Now back to what IPv6 addresses are available. So we know that from the what we have explained about the IPv6, we have 128 bits. So out of all the IPv6 space, IANA has only released /3. So they only released /3 from the whole addresses that we have on the IPv6. Okay, and that means that from this /3 we can get how much? we can get 512 of 12s. What does it mean here? Let me just open for you a new slide to explain to you what is the 512/12s. Now, if you want to understand what does it mean 512/12s on the IP version 6, let's think of the IP version 4.4. If you remember, if we have /24, then this /24 can provide us 2/25, correct? Also, it can provide us 4/26. It can provide us 8/27 and so forth. So that's what we know about subnetting. So the same concept is on the IP version 6. When you say you have /3, then this will provide us what? 512/12. All right? So that's what the IP version 6 can provide us. Why? Because if you make the 12 minus 3, that's give you 9. 2 to the power 9 gives you exactly 512, and that's exactly, which is this one. So 512/12, but not all the 512 are available, and that's what are saying over here. So you will see that again, if we go back to here, that IANA release /3, and from this /3 we have IANA reserve 506, that's reserved, and 1 is also for miscellaneous, that means for experimental. So that means from 512 we have 507 that are not used. So the rest is how much? 5. Right? So 5 is the rest that we have. 5 of /12. And those 5 are being assigned to the RIR, to the regional internet registry. So you get the idea. So for example, you see that Afrinic will receive 1, which is to start by 2C00 and so forth /12. APNIC, which is another one, receive 2400/12. AREN also received, LACNIC received 1, and RIR received 1. So we have 5. The 5 are being redistributed to those RIR. And those RIRs now, they can then assign to the LIR, and then LIR can assign to the ISPs, and the ISPs can assign to the end user. So this is how it goes, and you will see what we have up to now is only /3. That's really amazing because we do have a lot of spaces. So only /3 is being reserved. And from this /3, there's only 5 that are being assigned because we do have 512, but 507 are not used. So 506 are reserved and 1 is for miscellaneous. So we have 5, and those 5 are being assigned to the RIR. So when I say 5, that means I'm saying 5 whole subnets. So that's how you can see at this moment how things are happening with IP version 6. And if you want, I have here a link if you want to go to it, and I will leave it for you. So and also you'll see how the assignment are on the IP version 6. So you can see this is from IANA website. You see IP version 6 address assignment, how this is happening. I will leave this link for you. So if you want to check it, then you can see how the assignments is happening from the IANA to the RIR. So this is what I wanted to explain in this lecture. Is all about the assignment of the IP version 6 addresses. So remember, IANA has the full range of the IP version 6, and IANA distribute to the RIR, which are the regional internet registry, like AREN, like RIPE, and there are 5 actually. Each continent they have 1. So they only receive from the /3 that IANA is using, and from this /3 we have seen that we have 507 that are reserved, 507 of 12 that are reserved, and only 5 are being used, and each of the RIR is receiving a /12. And then also I have left for you, if you want, a link where you can check it to see how the IP addresses are being assigned from the IANA to the RIR. So this is what I wanted to show you in this lecture. I hope it was informative for you and clear, because that's very important to know how the IP version 6 is being assigned. And I will see you in the upcoming lecture.